Buying a used car is a great solution for a budget-friendly ride. But without the right knowledge and experience, it can be a guaranteed waste of your money. I bet you didn't know that more than 50% of all used cars on the market have insurance claims indicating past accidents or significant damage. But today, I am going to give 12 things that you have to check because you won't believe the things you can know about a car's past just by looking in the right places. 1. Look at the door hinges and bolts, a hidden crash indicator. Open each door fully and inspect the hinges where they connect to the body. Look closely at the bolts holding the hinges. Do they have chipping paint or tool marks? Do they look like they've been loosened and retightened? Factory-installed bolts usually have a smooth, untouched appearance, often with paint perfectly covering them. If the paint is broken or the bolts seem out of place, it means the door has been removed at some point. This is a subtle but strong indicator that the car has been in an accident. Even if the body panels look fine, the door might have been replaced or realigned after a crash. If an accident was bad enough to require door removal, there's a chance of frame damage or deeper structural issues. Check the vehicle's history report for any record of accidents. If the car drives straight and the door shuts properly, it might not be a deal breaker. But if the car pulls to one side, creaks when closing doors, or has uneven panel gaps, it could be a sign of deeper structural damage. In that case, it's best to walk away. 2. Check under the spare tire, the flood damage test. Pop open the trunk, remove the spare tire, and inspect the well underneath it. Feel around with your fingers. Do you notice any dampness, rust, or dirt buildup? Use a flashlight to look for discoloration or water stains along the metal surfaces. Also, take a deep breath. Does it smell musty, like an old basement? A car that's been in a flood might look clean on the surface, but water almost always finds its way into hidden areas like the spare tire well. Even if the electronics seem fine now, flood-damaged cars can develop serious electrical problems over time. If you suspect flood damage, do not buy the car. Electrical gremlins from flood exposure are nearly impossible to fix completely. It's one of the biggest red flags in used cars. 3. Check the inside of the tailpipe. Wait until the car is cold, then reach inside the exhaust tip with a paper towel or your finger. Look at the residue you wipe off. Is it black and dry? Wet and oily? Grayish-white? Wet black soot indicates excessive fuel burning, which could mean bad fuel injectors, a failing oxygen sensor, or even an engine control unit issue. Grayish or white residue is the most serious. This can mean the engine is burning coolant, a sign of a failing head gasket, or even a cracked cylinder head. 4. Check the dashboard panel alignment, the airbag cover-up. Look carefully at the gaps between the dashboard panels, especially around the glove box, steering wheel, and center console. Are they evenly spaced, or do some areas look misaligned or slightly bulging? If the dashboard has been removed, it's often because an airbag was deployed and replaced after a crash. Some dishonest sellers will install a cover over an empty airbag compartment or disable the airbag warning light to hide the fact that it's missing. Start the car and watch the airbag light on the dashboard. It should turn on for a few seconds, then turn off. If it never turns on at all, or if it stays on, that's a major red flag. Have a mechanic inspect the airbag system, but in most cases, it's best to walk away. 5. Run your hand along the bottom of the doors. The rust check that's often missed. Reach under the bottom edge of each door and feel along the metal. Is it smooth? Or do you feel rough spots, bubbling paint, or flaky metal? This is where rust often starts, especially in humid or coastal areas. Bubbling paint means rust is growing underneath, and rough, flaky metal is a sign that corrosion is well advanced. Light surface rust can be treated, but deep corrosion is a major problem. If rust has eaten through the metal, it will only get worse, and repairs can be costly. 6. Turn the steering wheel to full lock and listen. Hidden suspension damage. With the engine running, turn the wheel all the way left, then all the way right. Listen carefully for any unusual noises. Clicking sounds, bad CV joints, groaning or whining Power steering problems. Clunks or knocks worn suspension components. If you hear clicking, the CV joints may be failing. Repairable, but something to factor into the price. 7. Check for mismatched headlights or taillights. Stand in front of the car and compare the headlights. Are they the same brand, color, and level of wear? Do the taillights match perfectly? If one headlight looks brand new while the other looks worn, the car may have been in an accident that required replacing one side. Look for additional signs of repair, like uneven panel gaps or mismatched paint. If the accident was minor, it might not be a big deal, but if there's frame damage, walk away. 8. Feel the hood and fenders. Before the seller starts the car, place your hand on the hood and fenders. They should be completely cold to the touch. If they're even slightly warm, that means the car was recently running. A dishonest seller may have started the car beforehand to mask a rough cold start. Many engine problems like failing fuel injectors, misfiring spark plugs, or low compression only show symptoms when the engine is cold. By warming it up, the seller is trying to make the car seem like it runs smoothly all the time. Ask the seller to let the car sit overnight and return the next day to start it cold. If they refuse or make excuses, there's something they don't want you to see. 9. Check the AC temperature with a thermometer. Get a cheap thermometer and stick it into an air vent. Turn the AC on max, set it to the coldest setting, and wait a few minutes. The temperature should be 35 to 45 degrees Fahrenheit. If it's above 50 degrees Fahrenheit or 10 degrees Celsius, the system might be low on refrigerant, have a leak, or the compressor could be failing. AC system repairs can be expensive. A failing compressor alone can cost over $1,000 to fix. If the air isn't ice cold, ask for proof of recent AC service. 10. Check the front tires for uneven wear. Turn the steering wheel so you can see the entire tread of the front tires. Run your hand across them and look for uneven wear patterns. One side of the tread is more worn than the other. The car has a bad alignment, possibly from a bent suspension component or even a frame that was knocked out of shape from an accident. If both rear tires are worn down much more than the front ones, the car was probably driven aggressively, meaning other parts, like brakes and suspension, could be worn out too. This is expensive to fix and dangerous to drive on. 11. Inspect the oil fill cap. Unscrew the oil fill cap and look inside. Shine a flashlight in to check for buildup. Feel inside the cap with your finger and check for any residue. Milky or foamy sludge inside the cap? This means coolant is mixing with the oil, a classic sign of a blown head gasket or even a cracked engine block. Thick black sludge? The owner didn't change the oil regularly, and the engine is likely full of carbon deposits. Golden or clean oil? The car has been well maintained. 12. Watch for odometer tampering. Modern digital odometers can be hacked to roll back the mileage, but some cars have a built-in way to detect tampering. Press and hold the trip reset button while turning the key to the on position, but don't start the car. On some models, this will display hidden diagnostic information, including an odometer tampering warning if the mileage has been altered. If you found this video helpful, hit that like button, subscribe for more car buying tips, and let me know in the comments, what's the worst used car you've ever bought?